Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is Monday evening at 9:30, and today is a little different, a little strange. We have no internet here at the house. We have no Wi-Fi, and I'm going off of my phone today, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read comments. I can't tell if our guest is backstage. I keep tapping on the screen here to see if I have any guests, and our guest is not here. So I'm hoping I even tapped on the right broadcast. So if anybody can comment, please let me know in the comments. Did I click on the one for our country mama quickie? Because now I can't back out to see because I'll lose the whole thing. So I'm expecting Mike from Marino's Mysteries here today, but I don't have him backstage. And since I have no internet here at all on the farm, I cannot go somehow check my email without losing this broadcast. So I do see that there's a place on my phone for me to read the comments, but I don't see any comments. Pardon my hand in the front there. But it's really awkward for me to be doing this without the regular internet. So waiting to see if we do get Mike from Marino's Mysteries to pop up. Hey, hello, Homestead Family Reclaim. Welcome. Thank you. That lets me know I can at least can't see me. That's interesting. How about now, Gwen? Can you see me now? Now it says I have a guest. There's Mike. Adding him to the stream. Okay.
Hello,
hi, Mike.
Country Mama Musings.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. Or should I call you Molly Sue?
Molly Sue, that would work. Okay, so we have people telling us we have a black screen. So we have to find a way. I'm doing this from my phone for the first time because we have no internet.
So it says a flashlight.
A flashlight might help. I don't know. It says the camera is off.
Your chin and light up your face and everything.
Well, I don't think they can see you either. Guys, let me know. We see Mike, but not me. Okay. Oh, goodness.
Okay, we got your avatar picture now.
Okay, but what happens if I take that off? No me?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, kind of dark.
All right. Well, I do. Let's just do it this way because I kind of like the way I reverberate when that happens. I think it's going to be the best little bit we've done here. I don't know what more to do. Camera permissions. That sounded funny coming through, didn't it? Camera permissions. I don't know if it's going to give me camera permissions without completely losing you.
Well, it can always come back. It's all me. Well, that's kind of weird. That's too bad that she's still having issues out there. The storm hit us today here in Maine and never got any snow. On the coast, anyway. We all had some heavy winds and rain, and the rest of Maine is without power and internet and everything.
Help!
Hey, there you are.
It's scary, I know. It's scary. Now you guys get to see this mug. You see what happens when you tell me to fix the camera. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this winter storm Izzy has just thrown us for a loop. And so I think we're on
nothing here in Maine.
Really? Well, I think you're getting it
coast, though. Anyway.
I think it's coming your way though.
Well, we already had it.
Oh, nothing to write home about, huh?
No. Well, here on the coast. Everybody else is in the dark, but, you know.
Well, we're not in the dark. We're covered in white, and the wind keeps blowing, and we keep getting snow drifts, but we haven't had internet except for maybe 45 to 50 minutes on Saturday, but not since Friday have we had internet.
Oh, let me
So
see
just
if I
trying to
can.
work with. Can you
Let me.
fix that on your end?
Let me. How's that?
Nope.
Oh, all
So
right.
hello, Mo Bang for your bucks, and Gwen from Broke Cowgirl, Homestead Family Reclaim, LP, everybody, and Yogi Hollow Farm. Lisa, I'm so glad that everybody's been able to make it in for our quickie today. Hello, Lynette from Coffee Angel Crafts. So I'm glad everybody's here, and I'm glad we were able to make it, Mike. Mike and I had to let Mike know that I made a big flub, my first big, huge flub with our Country Mama Quickies, and I double booked him. And so we moved him to the 17th, and it was just, I think, serendipity that I had the 17th left open, and he said he could do it. So here we are.
No
So,
problem. I
Rich,
had a heck of a time trying to get into it though, for some reason.
did you? I just think it's just one of those flippity doodah things. And I'll share with you, I have 2 bars, not on battery, on internet. So if I take
Okay.
three, you might just have to carry the show. I don't know. But let's get into our quickie straight out, just in case
Okay.
we lose anything. And so I'm not sure if you're aware, because I know you've popped in on a few. We like to start our quickies with foreplay. So I would like to know, I would like to know 4 quick facts about you that people here don't know about.
Let's see. 4 quick facts. I've been shot. Let's see. I have had a stroke and a heart attack at the same time. That
Oh,
was a good
goodness.
one.
You don't do anything the easy way, do you?
No, no. And of course, everybody was more concerned about that than I was. And let's see.
That's 2. I'm going to count that as 2. Since the stroke and the heart attack were at the same time, that's 1 instance. So you got 2 more to go.
I've had.
And he's frozen.
Oh, I am? I'm not frozen.
It's a good chuckle frozen look for him, isn't it?
Well, I'm.
Oh, hello, Redbird Farm. Hello, Daz. There he's back.
Okay, there I'm back.
Now you're
It
back, but
didn't.
you had the best grin when you froze up on us.
It didn't look frozen to me, but that's okay. Let's see. I've been a fireman EMT for over 40 years, and I've worked for the federal, state, and local municipalities in my career.
Wow. Like I said, you don't do anything small. You go big or go home, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Everybody in the chat saying you weren't frozen on their end. You were just frozen on my end, which is probably because I only have 2 bars of internet. So
That's okay.
a reason, but isn't that what life is all about, is to laugh for no reason and just have fun.
Oh, right, right.
So
I mean, just do it.
just go with it. I'm going to let everybody in the chat know that when we are doing our quickie, I will not be able to pay attention to the chat. So as everybody's chatting on the side, I won't see what's going on because I'm going to give you my full attention as we hit these cards of doom with all of these crazy questions. I've got new questions since just last week. So you're not prepared. You think you might be prepared, but I got new questions for you.
Oh,
Tell Papa Jim to
boy.
pedal faster. If that would help the internet right now, I would actually ask Papa Jim to help. So are you ready for your quickie, Mike?
No.
Oh, well, shucks.
But we're going to do it anyway, right?
So this is a hard sell. This is a hard sell. Is this how you start all your quickies? Okay, here we go. We're going to go till 9:49. It's a 10-minute quickie. And what food always takes you back to your childhood?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. And is it a good memory in your childhood or a bad memory in your childhood?
Oh, very good one.
Very good. Good, because my son hates spaghetti. He's like, don't cook spaghetti, Mom. What's the best date you've ever been on?
Oh man, probably out to one of those Hukilau restaurants.
Oh, we're going to the Hukilau. That kind of Hukilau, Hukilau?
Sure.
Hooky, 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 Hukilau. It's a dinner and a show, folks. Mike, what's the weirdest thing you've ever done for money?
Probably sang.
Oh, wait a second. I didn't get paid. You got paid?
Oh
I'm in
yeah.
the wrong business. What was the last thing you bought online?
I bought a wonderful microphone that's sitting right in front of me.
It's frozen on my end.
Oh, I'm
I don't
not
know if he's
frozen.
talking.
I'm
I
not
don't know
frozen.
if
See?
he's frozen. He's back. Wait, I might have to just intentionally make the internet freeze up every quickie because it's actually kind of fun because I don't know what's going to happen. The joke's on me. I'm just going to move on.
Well,
I don't know what you said, but
the answer was the microphone.
oh, nice. I'm in the market. Name 3 words to describe your channel.
Eclectic, weird, fun.
Nice. Okay. If your life was a made-for-TV movie, who would play you?
Oh, uh, probably Robin Williams. He'd be the only one that would be crazy enough.
I don't know if he could pull off the mustache, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite flavor of cake?
Well, being a diabetic all my life, pretty much any cake is my favorite, but I'd have to say, like a whatever that peanut butter flavor is.
Oh, peanut butter cake?
Yeah, I guess, but it isn't peanut butter. I don't know what it is, but it's not
Everybody
vanilla
wants
or
to,
chocolate.
Mike, everybody says I'm frozen now.
Oh, you've been
Let it
frozen right from
go.
the start,
Let
but
it
I've just
go.
been ignoring it.
So if I freeze, you have to restate the question as you give the answer. I think Lisa just wants to sing "Let It Snow, Let It Go."
Oh, we can hear you fine. You're not moving.
Still?
Yeah. Yeah, right from the
Well,
start, but we've been ignoring it. But
okay.
somebody hasn't been doing, the ignoring part very well.
I'm moving on my end. And
Yeah,
that's
sure,
what a
sure.
quickie's all about. At least I'm moving on my end. May not be moving
No.
on your end, but I'm moving on my end. What's your favorite drink besides water?
Moxie.
Huh?
Moxie.
What's Moxie?
Well, it's like the most horrible tasting, disgusting, putrid stuff ever put on the face of the earth, but it's fantastic. I love it. It's a soda that's
Oh,
pretty much Maine.
okay. I'm just going to have to take your word for it. I don't think I'll be trying it. Please
Eh,
tell me if I'm frozen. At least I look halfway decent.
Oh, you got a good face on there, yeah?
Okay, that's good. Okay. What's the favorite thing you've done in the past 24 hours?
I completed my revamp of my studio.
And now he's frozen on my end.
No, I'm not frozen. Just you.
I haven't moved since I started this live. Uh,
Yep.
that that's just the way this quickie's gonna go, like a dead fish.
Surprisingly enough, no, I won't go there.
Purchase of 2001.
My favorite purchase of 2001? I don't think I have one.
Oh, okay. So you liked them all.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Good deal. All right, Mike, what's your proudest achievement?
Oh, wow. My proudest achievement would have to be I put a string of geocaches out in the woods of Maine at about 125-mile stretch. And we had people coming from all over the world just to do those geocaches because of the area and where they were and how many and things like that.
Oh, that's neat. I am a geocacher. I'm a fellow geocacher. I've not been geocaching. When we lived in California, we used to go geocaching all the time. I absolutely love it. So, those of you who are listening to me and looking at my frozen face, geocaching is amazing. If you want to learn more about it, go see Mike because it really is a neat thing to do. And I tell you what, if I watch this back later and I find out that I am moving and you guys are all punking me, I just don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something.
Oh,
Um,
sure, sure.
what is the one thing you would like to do this year that you've never done?
Oh, wow. I've done just about everything. I couldn't come up with something like that because I've done just about anything I wanted to do.
You've jumped out of an airplane?
I don't want to do that.
Okay. If you could be a contestant in any game show, which game show would you choose?
The Price is Right.
Oh, I've been to The Price is Right. That would be fun. You'd have a good time at The Price is Right.
Yes,
You
I
know,
would.
that studio is much smaller than you would think it would be when you watch it on TV.
Oh,
It's very,
cool.
very tiny. Very tiny. Um,
Good.
when you were a kid in school, what was your favorite lunch item at school?
Most likely it would have been cookies if I got cookies. Because again,
Okay. Now let me just
diabetic.
ask in the chat real quick. So you guys can't see me. Mike
Yeah.
can hear me. Can you all in the chat hear me?
Yeah, they
Or is
can hear
Mike
you.
just talking to himself? Let me know, but I'm going to keep going.
No, they can hear you fine.
Mike, are you reading anything interesting at the moment?
Am I No, I don't. I don't read books. Owner's manuals. That's about it.
That's about the way my husband is too. Um, where was the last place that you went for the first time?
Oh wow. Probably the shoe tree up in Presque Isle.
The shoe tree, huh?
Yeah.
Did you get any good shoes?
Well, what they do is, and this started like 100 years ago. They have this tree, and different people just throw their shoes up into the tree, and
Oh,
it's like right on the side of the road, and it's an attraction. But
I got you. Now in California, there's an actual. Oh no, wait, that's Shoe City. Never mind. I thought it was a shoe tree. It's a Shoe City. I get what you're saying. We have a tree like that out here, but it's hula hoops. They throw hula hoops all in it.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you're ever in Iowa, see the hula hoop tree, and if I'm ever in Maine, I'll go see the shoe tree, and
It's
maybe I'll
a
stop off
long
at
way
Shoe
up in the
City.
middle of nowhere.
Well, I've been there. I don't know where that is, but I'm sure you can see it from your place. If you had an extra hour every day, what would you do with it?
I'd blow it just like everything else. I don't really do anything. My schedule is not full.
Okay. If you could meet any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Tesla, probably the smartest man with electricity and engineering that ever lived.
And highly misunderstood.
Yes.
Do you believe he really fell in love with his pigeon?
I
Or do you think it was a weird rumor put out by Edison?
He could have because he wasn't, real stable, but I mean, what everybody falls in love with animals.
Well, that's true, but I think he wanted to marry his pigeon, so I don't know.
Sure,
But he was
why
an
not?
interesting man, wife. Nonetheless, he was interesting.
Yep.
What is a movie that you've been looking forward to watching?
Um Man, I don't really look forward to watching movies. Maybe the new one that just came out. I can't think of it. Spider-Man Away from Home there with Doctor Strange, whatever that
Okay,
one is.
I gotcha. I haven't seen it, but my grandson did. He seemed to enjoy it. A billionaire gives you $1 million for a new startup idea. What is it?
I would probably make personal blimps.
And I will never know what it is because you blanked out and I didn't hear the
Oh,
answer.
I said it's a personal blimp, a one-man blimp, or dirigible, or zeppelin, whatever you know it
Oh,
as.
okay. I thought you said blip, not blimp. I was going to say, this is a one man blip. This entire quickie is a one man blip. If you were a potato, Mike, how would you want to be prepared?
Oh man, baked.
It's a loaded question. Oh, the jokes keep on coming. The jokes keep on coming. Let's end it with this one because we're out of time. What is your favorite family tradition?
Oh, my favorite family tradition was coming all together at Christmas and opening the presents with my sister, who was dyslexic and got everybody's name wrong. So when we'd open up the presents, it was quite a interesting experience.
Look, Mom, a bowling ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mike. That was painless, wasn't it? I mean, it really wasn't painless. This is probably the most
Yeah, it was
tragic quickie we've had because of
painless
all of
for
the little
me. I'll
snafus.
catch you. Okay, so that's the end of it. I'll see you later.
I mean, you can leave if you want to. I can't guarantee how long we're going to keep anything going, but there was definitely a spin on this one for sure. People are saying it's hilarious and fun. Hilarious and fun. It was the strangest thing. So, guys, if you have any questions for Mike, let's drop them in the chat. I don't know chat for Mike. I'm going to see if I can click on it and bring it up on screen and see if you guys can see it. And we'll see if we can get Mike to answer a couple of questions from you guys. I'm not going to try to attempt to drop the link because I don't know how to do that from this little phone. Mike, okay, look. Is it gonna, there it is. Answer that, Mike.
That's I don't know if strange is the proper uh, way to address that, but that is a very nice lady from right. You know why you can't see her uh, doing anything is because she's probably back in a combine out there driving down a field someplace. That's Molly Sue.
Molly Sue in the Combine. Oh, Lord, that sounds like the opening line of a good country song. Oh,
You
goodness,
know where
man.
I'm getting
Okay,
Molly
so
Sue from, right?
Redbird, I might have to do it on purpose next year. I'm still waiting for another. Let's get another question.
You know where I'm getting Molly Sue from, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the name I wish I had actually been given when I was born was Molly, because I think I would have been a fun Molly.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good pose for being frozen there, huh?
Yeah,
Right?
it's pretty good. Yeah.
Redbird Farm says, when I first watched Mike, I thought he was really in a sub or a bunker. I thought that too. I thought he was on the Starship Enterprise.
Wow. No, this equipment's much older than that.
So's this equipment. I was going to say you were on the set of a place where boldly go where no man has gone before.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm sure men have been here.
Oh, Daz, you're killing me, Daz. You're killing me. You guys are going right for the Achilles tendon, I'm telling you. Mike, what is Scrapple? Not Scrabble, but Scrapple.
Scrapple is.
Pardon me while I get my barf bag.
Scrapple is now. This might take a minute. Scrapple is this stuff that and it's kind of like a brick, and
That's a good start.
watch my video. It's all explained there. Daz.
Oh, see, now that's a great answer. I can put my barf bag down. Since you guys can't see me, you don't know whether I really have a barf bag or not. You don't know if I've got on the barf bag or a feed bag. But thank goodness I don't have to listen to the explanation of Scrapple. It's like it's something that would be delicious. But
Well,
I saw your video, and I think I'm going to have a hard pass on that one.
My explanation of the video is what Daz keeps giving me grief about.
Now, what was your favorite drink again?
Moxie.
Do you wash down the Scrapple with some Moxie?
Well, I'll tell you, I did the Bean Boozle challenge, and the only reason I got through this without gagging or anything was by drinking Moxie before, during, and after.
Oh Lord, that's really having to beef things up there for that. My goodness. Here we go. Redbird Farm wants to know, what kind of weather are you having now?
We didn't get up here in Maine, but I'm on the coast, so we got mostly wind and rain. Everybody else in Maine is in the dark without internet.
But do they have power so they can stay warm, just no internet?
Oh no, there's no power. There's no power. Nobody's got any power. The wind has knocked all the trees down. I've told them for the last 100 years, you got to put the power lines underground where they're protected, like the water lines. Do we lose water every time there's a fart of wind? No, but we lose the power every time. So I've been telling them, put the lines underground. That's the way to go, and everything else. But do they listen? No.
No. Ding, 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 ding. You said the magic word. You get the bonus question for the night, Mike. There's a bonus question. Are you ready for the bonus question? Because you said the magic word.
No, I'm not.
Too bad. You're getting it anyways. Would you rather burp or fart glitter?
Burp. Everybody can see it if I burp it.
Right? You could just share that with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, no, burp.
Okay, well, that was the bonus question. Let's see what else we've got.
I've tried.
Daz says he thought that Moxie was a type of a cat.
Look, Daz, I have tried.
I think. I don't know. I don't have my glasses and I'm trying to catch up. And Mo Banks for your bug says, oh dear, it would hurt either way, no matter how you dispense the glitter. it would hurt you, but I'd say if you were to dispense it the other way, it would hurt all of us.
No, glitter's fine.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Guys, do you have any more questions for Mike? You know, Daz was saying earlier, with all that stuff you've got behind you, you should be able to fix my camera and make it so I can get up online.
I have tried, but she doesn't have a good internet connection.
That's
I can do all kinds of things if I can get to her, but I just can't get to her.
That's what she said. And you know, I have one bar one bar on my poor little camera or on my phone. I mean, it's fully charged, but for the internet, one teeny tiny little bar. Alicia is doing the glitter thing now while the picture is frozen. Ding, ding, ding. Surprise
Oh.
question for Daz. But how am I doing the glitter thing, Daz? Am I burping? Or am I actually participating in the magic word that Mike let loose with earlier? Everybody use your imagination. Vote in the chat. If I'm doing the glitter challenge, how is it getting there? Oh, and people are dropping your link. That's great. Thanks so much there. To see you here, and forgive me, I can't remember. Is it Tim? Mike, do you know, is that his name? Mo Bang for your bucks. Is it Tim? Don't have smell-o-vision. That must mean I must be burping. Friendly smash the thumbs, guys. I'm reading Nightbot now. Things are getting so bad without my glasses and trying to keep up. Something about Papa Jim that I'm behind on. Oh, Lord, I'm just behind on everything in the chat. Oh, yes. Okay, I got the name right. Ding, ding, it's Tim. Oh, Lord, I don't know that I've ever been so exhausted from a quickie before because this has just been so challenging. Yes, Mike. You just darn near exhausted me.
Wow.
Put that in your,
I don't
put that in your
usually
pipe and
hear
smoke
that. It's usually, geez,
Well,
get away from me.
get me away from you. Oh, my goodness. Well, friend, I'm going to give everybody one more chance. Burping because we can hear you. Thank you, Jim. One more chance, guys. If you have a question for Mike, or if you want to make some suggestions to him on some things you'd like to see on his channel, drop them now. Hello, Hugo Homestead. You know, I feel so bad because, Daz, I'm going to get you. Hugo Homestead always pops in just when I'm about ready to say goodbye, almost every single time. And I feel so bad because Hugo Homestead will show up and it's like it's time to go and they don't get to stay very long before I end alive. And I feel so terrible. But, you know, Daz wants you to know, Mike, he wants you to get a recording of that because you need to keep that one.
Okay.
That's bragging rights right there, friend.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. You could say, look, I exhausted this woman from Iowa.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm pretty sure this is being recorded.
Somewhere. I'll probably never live it down. Yep, replay is a lifesaver. So Tim wants to know what made you decide to start your channel.
I was more or less let me try that again. I was more or less forced into it. People have been telling me for years I should write a book and blah blah this and that. I don't write books. So I started working with one of these local cable news channels, and the producer, director, whatever, said that you gotta write a book about this stuff that you've been doing because it's just crazy. And then we were doing something. We were doing a shoot someplace, and he says, you ought to do YouTube." And I went, "Oh my god!" Well, he wouldn't leave me alone, so here I am. I'm doing YouTube.
You got pestered into it.
I got pestered into it big time, and now I've spent like $1,000 on this junk, and I'm still in less than 200 category.
Well, you know, slow and steady. We'll get you up there. Your link's been shared. And Tim says, Mike, you got a new friend. I don't know who he's referring to. I don't know if it's my comment that's got everybody going or if he's talking about new subscribers. Wink, wink, he says. Yeah, they want to know about your watch. What's with that, Flavor Flav?
My watch is normal size. I just have like small wrists. It's just a normal watch.
It's just a normal watch, but you have a small wrist?
Yeah, see, it's just a normal watch, but it's kind of I small wrist. See, small wrist.
Okay. Ah, Dad says he's glad that you did start a channel, Mike. You have made me laugh so many times. Thanks, mate.
I don't know if that's actually a good thing.
Why?
Well, I've heard stories about making Aussies laugh, and sometimes it's not good.
I
They
swear I'm
got
being punked. I
they
swear I'm
got
being punked because as soon as you say, I've heard stories, then I hear nothing. I missed
oh
the whole thing again.
it's can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay, I said because I've heard stories that when you make an Aussie laugh, sometimes it isn't a good thing.
Oh, I don't think we have that problem with Daz. I think his stuff will be genuine, even though he says he doesn't think they were all intentional. Laughter
Yeah,
makes
I'm
the
sure.
world go round no matter how you get it. I think we've had more laughs just during this quickie just because nothing's working right. And like I said, I feel like I'm being punked half the time, but it's made it interesting. It has definitely made it interesting.
Well, this is, I was very all nerved up and I was very anxious and everything about this quickie because I just, I'm not on TV at all. And
Performance anxiety?
yes, yes, there you go. And then I couldn't even get on.
No pun intended, folks. No pun
But
intended.
but then it was like, you froze up and it was like normal, so everything, hey.
Oh, the innuendos tonight are just one right after another after another. Oh, Dad says, Mike, I can't believe your TV was on that table.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was just a table. It was a very thin, flexible piece of but the TV only weighs about 2 pounds, so it was just kind of sitting on there. Didn't have to be much.
Tim says, I never laughed so hard before on live like this. Tim, share it. Let's just make this monstrosity of a quickie. Let's make it go viral. Let's get
Well,
it out there.
see, I can even do
Don't poke me in
stuff
the eyeball.
that
Don't poke fun at me. Don't poke me. I'll take you serious. Oh, I'm
with
glad
my
you're having fun, Tim. Share it.
huge uh uh
Your huge watch and your tiny wrist, you're going to poke me in the eyeball. I can hear it tomorrow. Mike is on a quickie and he can't get on.
I couldn't get on. I couldn't
He
get
couldn't get
on.
on. That was the problem. He couldn't get on to begin with before I froze. I don't think I don't know. I don't know that I was frozen before you came on. I don't know what happened. Hello,
No,
and Pedmore, welcome. We are having such a fun time because this has just been a calamity cluster, let me tell you. Mike has been a great guest. He's answered so many great questions, and I am frozen. I don't know what's wrong with me, but my internet is not cooperating, and I've been frozen the entire time. He's poking me in the ear. People are having a great time laughing. The innuendos just keep coming one right after another. And I have to say, I am overwhelmingly delighted because I just was feeling so like you were dreading this. I was dreading it because I felt guilty about the whole reschedule thing, and I really felt that maybe you didn't even want to go through with it because I had to do that to you. And then I
Oh,
didn't
I
have
didn't.
internet.
I didn't want to go through with it. No.
I know, I know. And then I didn't have internet for days, and I thought if I have to cancel because I don't have internet, he's going to really take it personal.
Oh,
And
just
I'm going to be the biggest schmuck in the world.
oh, I would have cried for hours.
Minutes, seconds, maybe top. Tim wants to know who runs the show, anyways.
um,
Tonight.
there's a guy up there on the second level that actually pushes all the buttons.
Well, get him down here to fix my internet. Why don't you? And Tiny Tim wants us to sing let it go, because I'm so frozen. Oh my gosh. Mike, the
Oh,
background
okay,
reminds me of
cool.
the space station back in the days when it was time for the liftoff. I think that's what he's going for. He was suffering from performance anxiety earlier. Now he's almost ready for liftoff, but the machinery is a little outdated.
Well, yeah, but when you're just, I'm not really allowed to talk about it, but like when you're making popcorn, you don't need the most modern stuff.
Okay. Shoo, right over my head. Right over my head. I missed
Oh
something
yeah,
that the
this.
Tims are
Oh
saying to
yeah,
make
this
dads
coming
laugh.
from the woman that was hot rodding around in a combine.
Oh, that was so much fun, though. That was
I
so much fun.
I bet it was. You looked like you were having a good time.
And you know what? The farmers just didn't get it because they do it every time, every season. They're out there on the combines doing their work, and I was just as giddy as a kid. I had such a wonderful time, and I didn't want it to end. I wanted to ride out there all day long, and they would have let me, but somebody had to drive me out to the field, and they were waiting, and so I felt guilty that they were just standing out there by their truck. But otherwise, I would have been up there all day long. And I told the farmer, I said, if I was your wife, I'd be up here all day clearing these fields, and we'd have lunch and chit chat. And he says his wife had no interest in doing that at all.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
imagine that
but
you'd
the,
get
the
tired of it
combine
after
was
a while.
great. That was a great little bucket list item to take off of my lot of fun. Hello, Life
Yeah,
with Linda and Chuck.
it looked like you were having a great time.
I did. You know what was the funniest thing? And I didn't get a video of it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to climb up in that combine because my husband said, that's it's a pretty steep ladder to get up on that combine. And so before the combine got there, I told the lady that drove me out there, I said, my husband says he's not sure I'm going to be able to get up there. And she says, oh, it's okay. We'll make sure you get up there. I was like, okay. So I start climbing up this ladder, and she plants both hands on each cheek and is shoving. And it's like, I didn't need the help. I was fine. I actually was going to be able to make it up all on my own. But I tell you what, she shoved both cheeks all the way up that ladder to the very, very top. It's a good thing I didn't lose my grip. I would have flattened her like a pancake.
Well, then you would have had more content to put on the channel.
I would have if I'd only been recording, but yeah. But she wasn't shy. I'd never even met her before, but boy, she just grabbed a booty and started shoving.
I've
It
been
was a
to a
lot of fun.
party like that.
I've been to a few. Was Moxie involved?
No, no.
Oh, see, Moxie wasn't involved, but Jaeger bombs. I mean, those are there. Those are usually at a good party like that. But that's for another story for another time. We don't want to give too much away. We don't want to let the rumors will just start flying from everybody in the chat about what Country Mama's up to. Start talking about booty grabbing parties with Jaeger bombs. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure they'll talk about it anyway.
They will. Who knows what they're going to make up? Like they said, they're already going to know what's happening. And like I said, if you've had fun on this live, share it. Let's get it out there. If the rumors are gonna flow anyways, at least help me get some watch hours on it. Life with Belinda and Chuck says apparently I came in at the right time. Oh, you're gonna have to watch the replay, guys. I've been frozen all night, just having a really challenging time with internet. But Mike has been a great guest. He's just really just rolled with the punches and answered the questions and keeping the comedy going. And it's actually been a challenging but lively and fun Country Mama Quickie. So we've had a great time.
Well,
So
I thought we were going to get to do the whole thing in the dark, which really intrigued me.
well, Quickie should be in the dark unless you show up for an afternoon delight, which I've done a couple of times with some of my guests when they can't make it to the 9:30 p.m. We'll do an afternoon. It's an afternoon delight.
Yeah.
But and matter of fact, I'm going to have another coming up with the Ann Lynn show on Valentine's Day. They asked me out. They asked me out for a Valentine's Day quickie, so I'll be having a quickie with them on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
Yeah,
that
those are
sounds
some funny
like a
ladies.
lot of fun.
Those girls, they keep me in stitches because I don't know half the time if they're intending the innuendos or if they just don't realize that if it weren't for the gutter, my mind would be homeless. And anything they say just makes me laugh. Tim says he hears Quickie and he's all ears.
Yeah, sure.
That's
sure.
Yeah, not all ears. But that's the point. That's the point. And we came up with the name Quickie because Lisa from Yogi Hollow Farm and I were talking. I said, I want to do this interview process. I kind of want to do it where it's like rapid fire, but I can't decide what to call it. And we were tossing around names for like 20, 30 minutes. And my husband was tossing around names and we just couldn't come up with it. I said, I want it to be quick. And I said, there it is right there. Country Mama Quickie. And my sister-in-law said, oh, sis, you don't know what people are going to think. And I said, oh, I know what they're going to think. And I'm fine with it. And we started this whole quickie process initially with 5 questions. And I thought, why am I asking them 5 facts about themselves? I need to ask 4 facts so we can call it foreplay. And so It's just kind of evolved from there. And we just had all of our fun little innuendos ever since then. So I think it's hysterical and I love it. And I thank you so much, Mike, for following through despite these scheduling issues. And I'm glad you were able to make it tonight and just roll with it, even though the internet is just being a booger. I really appreciate it.
I've had a great time. I don't think it could have been any better. And I appreciate you having me.
Do you have any questions for me before we go?
Do you really like the name Molly Sue?
Do I really like what?
Do you really like the name Molly Sue?
I actually really do like the name Molly. I really wish at times that my mother would have named me that because I think I would have been a fun Molly. My great grandmother, her name was Mary Frances, and they called her Molly, and she was very fun, and I would have loved to have been named after her. And then my middle name is Sue anyways, but it's the common spelling, S-U-E. And I always thought if my mom was just going to name me, give me just a general middle name, I wish she would have spelled it after where she was born, which is Sioux City, Iowa. So I would love to be Molly, Molly with a Y, because Lie, that means that I would lie all the time, and we don't want that. And then Sue, Sioux. I mean, if you're going to have an interesting name, I think that would be pretty interesting, Molly Sue.
I like it.
I really do like that name.
I like it. That's why I remembered it.
Oh, now Tim says I should see my frozen pose. I told you guys, if I go back and I watch this and I've got some really stupid dorky look on my face, it really better go viral.
It's a perfectly fine pose
for who?
Quickie.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no. You know what? I bet you my husband's in the bedroom right now watching this on his internet on his phone. And that's why I don't have good strength on this internet on my phone because he's hogging it all. And he's probably in there laughing about what my face looks like. It's a shame it froze while you're picking your nose.
You weren't supposed to tell her. Hey.
Oh, I better not be picking my nose. Yeah, I'm not picking my nose. I'm scratching my nose if I'm doing anything because I'm getting ready for a nice big glitter sneeze.
Oh, okay. Sure,
See?
sure.
That's
Yep,
how I'm getting rid of
yep.
my glitter. I'm going to sneeze it. Oh my gosh. Now I'm afraid to even go back and look.
Daz always spoils everything now. See, we could have had her going on here for a long while, but no, you had to mess it up. You kangaroo loving koala bear hugging weirdo.
Now I don't, at least your mouth isn't fully open. So that means it's partially open. Is it slightly agape?
Yes, yes.
Oh no. Well, at least I put lipstick on tonight, guys, for my partially agape mouth. I'll
That's
screenshot it so I can share it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh no. All
Oh
right. For
man.
everybody who's laughed, you better make sure you leave me a thumbs up. That's one. For two, share this video. Let's get some watch hours on it. And three, Mike's saying no, no. Three, go to Mike's channel if you haven't already subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, watch a couple of his videos, and leave him a comment and give him some thumbs ups. And that way, YouTube won't think he's a bot. And follow him and see what he's up to. Like I said, I do know that he loves to geocache. That is a great, great activity. You know, geocaching is really a great activity right now as we've been going through this weird thing this last couple of years because it is an activity you can do outside on your own. And for why don't you real quick, Mike, for people who don't understand what geocaching is, give us a real quick rundown how it came to be, like when the government released everything for GPS, how it came to be, and what the concept is of geocaching because I absolutely love it.
Well, it has to do with aliens from Mars, and they got involved with the seaweed, and they had a quickie, and no, um, it's explained some
The
ways
timing's
as
perfect. I
we
can't hear a thing.
use billions of dollars worth of satellite equipment designed by the military to find Tupperware hidden in the woods. And back in 2001, Clinton was president, and he decided that he was going to flip the big blue switch and allow the receivers to use the satellites, the GPS global positioning satellites, to hit the receivers with a more accurate signal. And that allowed us to get within 20 feet of any given coordinates and find uh, stuff that's hidden out in the woods, uh, it, that's hidden in a lot of different places. And there's an awful lot to this geocaching. There's different coins that we spread around, path tags, and things like that. Some of the more delightful ones will take you to some of the most gorgeous places on the face of the planet that might be right in your own backyard that not everybody knows about. And it's a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun with it. You do it at your own pace. Some people go out and find 100 in a day. Some go out and find one or two. It's all about how you want to do it. The stuff is out there. You can use a phone nowadays as well as a regular GPS gadget. You get on the internet, like we all are, and you go onto the geocaching.com website. Uh, if you push the right buttons, you can find where a lot of these hidden things are nearby, or some place that you're going to be traveling to if you're going to be taking a trip or a vacation. And some of the hides just themselves are very, very interesting and unique. Some of the containers are so fabulous. And of course, the areas are just any place you can imagine. Some are hidden up in signs. Some are hidden underneath park benches. I found them inside of logs in the woods, hanging out of trees. Actually, inside of a rock, like you've probably seen a hide key in a rock. Sometimes those are out there. I've got some that are in pine cones. I've got some that are in uh, a mash of like dirty toilet paper. I mean, they're everywhere, and sometimes there's trinkets, sometimes there's not, but it's a lot of fun. If you haven't
It
tried it,
is.
look it up.
Yeah, look at there are lots of videos that you can learn how to geocache on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah.
And it really is neat. It's a great family activity. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And you just gave me a great idea because I don't know if you've had the chance to see, but Papa Jim and I have started stuffing a piñata every week. We spin
Yes.
a carnival wheel, and we have two carnival wheels. One's numbered 1 through 50. For those in the chat that haven't seen it yet, the other one is numbered 51 through 100. We spin those wheels, and whatever the number comes up, we take that amount in money and we stuff it into a cupcake piñata. So if you get the chance, join us on Sundays, or no, on Saturdays, because on Saturdays my husband is stuffing my cupcake. And so we put the money in there, and we're going to do that for 26 weeks. And then we're going to take a stick to my cupcake, smash and bash the crap out of it. And then we're going to see how much money we have, and we're going to go on a trip. And you just gave me a great idea. Wherever we end up going on this trip, I'm going to look up to see if there are any geocaches along the way, because we really did thoroughly enjoy it. And one of the destinations that we're going to possibly choose from is Mount Rushmore. And on the
Oh
way out there, there's
yeah.
really not much to do on the drive out. We are going to stop off at De Smet, where the Ingalls family lived, and visit the grave sites of Charles and Caroline Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie. But that's all I've really found to do on the way to Mount Rushmore. But I bet you there are going to be some geocaches, and I might be able to get back into the geocache game because it has been far so long. Far so
There
long,
there
far
are
too
some
long.
great geocaches out there that I've just heard about from others. And something else, if you use a GPS like that you have in a car, there's something called a point of interest, and sometimes those will light up like the biggest ball of yarn in the world, and in some of these interesting places. Some of the
Uh-huh.
trips I've taken, I've gone to the Remington factory where they make Remington arms, the kazoo museum, things like that, and there happened to be a cache there too. But I mean, there's so many things that you can find, but there are a couple of very interesting geocaches out on the way to Rushmore.
I'm gonna add that to my list if that's the way we go. On our list also is possibly the possibility of going to Branson, Missouri, the possibility of taking the Amtrak to Chicago, the possibility of going up to Mackinac Island up in Michigan. So we're gonna find some geocaches along the way. We've geocached in cemeteries. We've
Yep.
geocached. I think one of my favorite ones was we did a tour of desserts, European desserts, and every so often our coordinates would take us along a route along a highway, and we would stop and find little geocaches, and then we would get a link where we could learn all about a specific European dessert, the history of it, how it's made, and then we would go to the next one. So lots and lots of fun. I'm going to definitely look into getting into that again. And I will say that my favorite geocache that I found when we were in California is we were driving to a birthday party and it was rainy and it was cold and we arrived a little bit earlier and I thought right there in the parking lot I'm going to see if we can find a geocache, and we did, and it was underneath a guardrail in a tiny little, like an Altoids box that we had a magnet on it, and it was underneath there. And there was a little monkey, the barrel of monkeys that hang on to each other. There was a little blue monkey in there, and I found him in the rain. And it started being where I started collecting little monkeys in that area. And then I found out my chiropractor was a geocacher, and those were his monkeys. And I thought
Oh,
it was so
cool.
neat because I found out who was leaving the monkeys. And so we had little erasers that had daisies with smiley faces on them. And so we left a chain of daisies, and that was just a lot of fun. So if you will do me a favor, Mike, because M. Pedmar was asking, um, when we're done with this video and you're able to access it on YouTube, could you drop a link to a couple of your geocaching videos? And also if you could drop a link to the app, and I forget what it's called because it's been so long. What do you got there? Is that what you leave?
This is my signature item. It's called the Unlit Campfire. There's a
Okay.
gold there's a whoops. There's a gold nugget in there, and then of course a pile of sticks on top of it.
And
And
you leave those in the larger geocaches?
yeah, it's a signature item.
Awesome. So for those of you who don't fully, it's hard to comprehend unless you've seen it. But when you
Oh yeah.
find the coordinates and you find a container that is the geocache, you open it and there are little treasures inside. And it's great. You can write down. There's usually a logbook and a pencil or a pen. You can write in there that you found it, and you have like a call sign. You have a name that you give yourself, and you sign the date and everything, and then you put it back. But if there's all these little treasures, you can take a treasure as long as you leave a treasure. And so we would always leave a treasure and we would take a treasure. And I have a little tackle box somewhere that has all of my little geocaching treasures. I need to find that and do that again on our trip. I think that is so great that this little chat that we had today reminded me to do that.
Well,
Oh,
I
and
can. I don't know how to get links. Oh, I can put them right in the yeah. But if you go
you
to
can
my channel, I don't have that many videos. There's
if people see them on your actual channel, that's one way, or
yep,
you can actually drop them as a comment after this
right,
video is done, not in this side chat, but in the comments, and
right,
people, when they click on them, it'll take them right to your channel. And then
right,
also, it's been so long since I've gone geocaching. I know there is an app. There is also the website where you get all of the coordinates. If you could drop just a little tutorial that they show on how geocaching works. I haven't seen it in a while. If I can find it once I get internet again, I'll drop that. But
yeah,
geocaching is a great fun thing.
I can do that. Like I said, I'm kind of a big deal around here on geocaching, and it was a lot of fun. We have events too, just like these YouTubers. They're going out to Pryor and some of these other
Uh-huh.
places, and the geocaching community does the same thing. And
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, some of these people are way scary clever. Uh, they can hide stuff, and that you know, it's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, we have someone out here that they are hardcore geocachers, and she was actually they went out on a boat and stopped at it's not a pier on a bridge. What is it? The post that comes down into the water. Maybe it's called a pier.
Yeah.
She had to get out of the boat, climb that up into the trestle of the bridge to get the geocache. She fell and broke her pelvis
Oh, yeah,
geocaching. And do you know, like five
yeah.
weeks later, she was out geocaching again? She's
Oh,
hardcore.
yeah.
We're not that hardcore. If I can't reach it, if Papa Jim can't reach it, then it's just going to have to be saved for someone else. So, welcome, Sunflower and Ashelle. I'm so glad you're here. Put your little comment up there. She loves geocaching. Um, so, M. Pedmar says, so this is like a treasure hunt back in the day where you could take a trinket and leave one. Absolutely. That's exactly what it's like.
Yep.
And it is just great family fun. I remember when we were doing this and we told our son, who was 18 at the time, he was like, that's stupid. And he was sitting in the back seat with his arms crossed. And then once we found the first couple, he was out there like a coon hound, sniffing up the trees, looking for the geocaches. He was all into it. He loved it. So it is just a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to get into that again. And funny story for you, Mike, and you'll understand this. And those who have geocached in the chat here, they'll get it as well. I'm going to ask you this little bit of trivia. Do you know where the furthest geocache is located from you?
The furthest from me.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'd say the furthest from everybody is up on the space station.
Absolutely. That's it. So our granddaughter was very much into geocaching with us. Every weekend when she would come stay with us, we would plan out the geocaching. And I told her, hello, Southern Sandy. I told her one time, I said, oh my goodness, granddaughter, do you know there is a geocache on the space station? And she got all upset. She goes, oh, Grandma, don't tell me you and Grandpa went and got that one without me.
Yeah.
I was like, no, we didn't go to the space station and get it without you. But some of them are in the ocean. Under the ocean, you have to scuba dive to get to them. But the furthest one
Up on
away
the
is,
top of the mountains, under the water. You got to climb trees. I was on the side of a mountain, and I was climbing this tree. It was an easy tree to climb, but I was climbing this tree, and I was about 30 feet up, and then I heard somebody coming. It
oh
was like,
no,
oh man, I hope they're not hunters and think I'm a bear up in the tree. But
oh no. And
luckily
that's
they luckily they happen to be other geocachers. So, I
but that's the funny thing is, like, if you're in the middle of a town, you don't want other people to know what you're doing. So you have to just sit inconspicuously on the side of a concrete stump for the light post, and you have to wait till nobody's looking, and then you have to slide out the edge of the light post and find where it's hidden and do all of it without being caught. And we had some instances out in California where people would call the police on people because, like, they're doing something suspicious. We're just geocaching. This is what it is. So
I
you have to be
have
careful not to trespass and things like that.
I have scared the ever living daylights out of several police officers. Uh geocaching, and then I'll hear a car coming, and oh, that's interesting, and I'll pop out of the bushes someplace.
Yeah, surprise.
And it's like, oh, you scared the crap out of us. I said, oh, I'm sorry. What are you doing? I'm geocaching. Oh, okay, go away.
Hello, Van City Adventure. Welcome. We're talking about geocaching. Um, so yeah, I absolutely loved
Oh,
it.
the painted rocks are another cool thing that's been happening the last couple of years. Yeah,
Yes.
I like those.
Yeah, I saw the comment earlier. I didn't get to, oh, yeah, I put it up. I didn't even remember that I did it. Yeah, the painted rocks are great. Um, my granddaughter and I did some rocks with hearts on them for a while. And while I was going through treatment for cancer, we'd leave them all around the cancer center for people to find. And
Oh,
that kind of
yeah.
brightened the day. But yeah, the painted rocks are great. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, hubby and that granddaughter, they stuck their hands down in knot holes of trees and up underneath trailers and stuff that I'm not going to be sticking my hands. They hide those geocaches in some pretty gnarly places.
Sometimes there is there was one that I saw that was inside of a beehive. Now, of course, it wasn't a real beehive, but you had to really decide if you wanted to check this last place, because you really would have looked every place else. But you really had to had to make a decision if you were going to
I'm just
check
hanging
this
here by
last
myself.
place.
There you go. Yeah, it's amazing because people don't realize what it is, but you know what it is if you know what it is. And it's funny because once you start geocaching, once you start understanding how the game is played, you will be walking by buildings and you will wonder, is that a fake brick that I could pull out and see if there's a geocache hidden in there? Is that a real faucet? What's that faucet doing in this really strange place on the side of this building? Is it a functional faucet or is it really just a geocache? And your mind starts going that way. And everything is a possibility for a geocache once you start getting into this game. It's so much fun. And
Oh
we've been to
yeah.
those events. We've had a travel car. We've picked up a travel bug, which was a
Oh
little
yeah.
car. And, you know, it was
Yeah.
really neat that we found it when it had reached its destination and we took a picture of it with its destination and sent it back home. And we've got a Mustang out there somewhere. I need to check to see where my Mustang is because we put a little car out as a travel bug. So a travel bug it's a trackable based on the number. It'll have a little number, and it's a travel bug that you send out. And when somebody finds it, they log it into an online logbook, and they leave the location where it is, and you can actually follow where your travel bug goes. It's really neat.
Oh yeah, and they go all over the world a lot of
Yep.
times.
Yep.
That is that is a path tag, which is part of the system, but it's a little different. And that I made for an event. I've only got a few of those left, but I made that for an event that was going on and gave them out to all the participants. I've got huh, I have a bag of all these different, um, what do you call them? I just said what they were. Um, isn't that awful? Um, personal personal items. Huh.
Don't ask me. Now you got me lost.
I got to put my glasses on. I hate putting my glasses on. I don't know. I can't remember what I just called them. Oh, this is a pretty cool one here too, because he actually put a card with it, but it's a Ducks Unlimited coin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we stopped off at one and we got a vintage Ozzy Osbourne like baseball card.
Oh,
We have found so
cool.
many neat things. Redbird Farm wants to know, how do you post if you put something out for people to find? So what you want to do, Redbird Farm, is there is a geocaching site or society. I'm looking at the wooden nickel there. I think I got a wooden nickel too.
Oh my
And
god.
you can actually join it. You pick your name, and I don't know if it has specifications for how many finds you have to do before you can actually start planting them. Mike will know. There's a nice one for a
Nope,
fireman's hat.
there's no restrictions on that. There's a
So you
lot
can
of
create one, and then you put the coordinates where
yeah.
it could be found on the map, and then people can find it. We had one that we found that was in a street sign, the post that goes down in the ground, and it has the little holes in it. And we had to
Yeah.
take a pen and push that little tiny little piece of paper. It was the size of a cigarette butt, all rolled up, real tight. And you push it down, and you take it out, unroll it, and write your name on it. There you go. Oh, a lighthouse one. Nice.
This is one of the travel coins.
Okay.
And it was made for one of the mega events.
Oh, and you know, there's another really neat aspect. Let's see. Somebody says here, Tiny Tim says, oh yes, wheelchair accessible ones for some of them, yes. And
Yes.
MPED says that they would just leave their painted rocks for people. There's a travel bug. And if you see vehicles going around with that insignia on the back window, that means they're geocachers. Hello, Blue
Yep.
Pixie. Welcome. See if I can see. They said, smile, God loves you. Some more hearts and smiley faces. That's so sweet. Yeah, check it out. Check out this whole geocaching thing, guys. It really is. I think it's a great thing to do right now, and some of us are not able to socialize the way we used to. Like Mike says, there are events that you can go to, and the one that I liked, there's also these really neat. So when you find a geocache, you log it.
Yeah.
Zoltaris.
Something like that. Yeah, he was up here in Maine for a while.
When you find a geocache, you log it in at the site, and then you will have a map that will light up all of the ones that you have found. But then there are some that are called virtual geocaches where you actually don't find something, but you have to find the right coordinates of where you need to be. So one that I remember is we had to go, I think it was in Long Beach or something. You had to go to a specific coordinate. You had to turn a specific direction, X many degrees, look up, find the camera that was on a building, smile and wave at the camera and take a picture of the camera and send it in. And then they would verify if you were really there. And then you could get the cache added to your caches. And I remember they would have things like, woo, you're at 25 caches, or it's like getting YouTube subscribers. You build
Oh,
them up,
yeah.
you get excited, and then you just kind of go from there. And we did one at a ghost town. And so some of them were take a picture of yourself in the ghost town jail, take a picture of yourself here. And then that led us into the cemetery, and we found cemetery geocaches. And we were respectful. They're put in respectful places, like
Oh,
on a
yeah.
tree bench or something. You always want to make sure that you're respectful. But it's really a neat thing. My fire is lit. Mike, you lit my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
I put one at a real ghost town that was one of the other things that I had a hat. I was part of the largest paranormal investigation society in the state of Maine, and I was a co-director, and we were working on this one ghost town up here called Riceville, and it just kind of disappeared at around 1903. And the cemetery is still there, and it's still being taken care of by two people. Well, maybe not now because they were quite old back then. But we were. I put a geocache out there, one of these great big 5-gallon buckets, and in there I would put a bag of sand with a with a panning thing and a video on
Uh-huh.
how to pan for gold, and it had at least $5 worth of gold in there, and so everybody that went out there got to use that to get the gold. And of course, I'd only, but people weren't coming in droves to do these because this was 30 miles out into the woods and
Right.
pretty much inaccessible. But every time somebody would go out there and find the cache, I'd go out and replace the bag of sand and everything like that. So, yeah, some of these really get involved and are a lot of fun.
They do. I remember seeing one that I thought was so ingenious. And I don't know if I would have the patience to do it. But once you found the location for the geocache, you had to take a container that was at the geocache and it had holes in it. And you had to run to the stream. You know which one I'm talking about? You had to run to a
We
stream to
we
fill it
have a
up with
bunch of them
water.
around. Yeah, the water
Yeah,
caches. Yeah.
you have to fill it up with water and run it back and pour it into a pipe. But by the time you run back up, you don't have enough water to, so you're running back and forth. You're trying to fill up the pipe. And the more you fill up the pipe, then the geocache will float to the top of the pipe so you can get it. But when you run back to get more water, the water level goes down and it keeps sinking. So you have to figure out, without breaking the rules, you have to figure out how you can get the water into the pipe to float the geocache, to get the key, to unlock a lock, to open a gate, and then finally get the geocache. It is so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Some of them are very
So
involved
much
like
fun.
that.
And Pedmar, thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm so glad you were here. Go Mod for your other channel. Tell them we said hello. If I was on my regular, uh, if I was on my iPad or on my laptop right now, I'd say like we could go do a love raid there, but I don't know that we can do anything like that. So I just think we're just not even going to try to. Let's not spoil a good thing. We're doing pretty good. So good night, Margie.
Good night, Marjorie.
And yeah, the Blue Pixie, it really is cool, and that's a really neat thing that Mike is doing that. I enjoyed it thoroughly when we did that. Um, and we had some where we had to foon. Do you know what it is to foon?
No,
Or is that only a West Coast thing?
maybe.
We would find the geocache and then you had to foon. Maybe I'm forgetting the word, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but you had to like strike a pose like you're running with one arm in front, one arm in back, one leg up, like you're running, and take a picture, and you had to post the picture with your find so that you could get credit for the geocache. And so we would take all of these little fun pictures and stuff. Lots of fun.
Yeah,
Lots
there's
of
a
fun.
lot of those that are not allowed anymore. You know, liberal stuff.
Mm.
Like the virtuals, there aren't many virtuals anymore.
Oh, really?
Most of them have been taken down. There are like Mount Washington still has a webcam cache. There are what they call now earth caches, where you go out and the person placing the geocache, there isn't actually a geocache, but the person making this geocache has to give some kind of a lesson on something about the earth. And like there's one where there's different types of rock and
Mm-hmm.
how the stream was made from the glaciers and different things, and they give you kind of a lesson on this stuff.
Right.
And
Like the
that's
dessert one that I did.
yeah, and those are called earth caches now, but they've come up with even some newer ones where you actually are playing a game on the phone, and
Mm-hmm.
it takes you to the different places. I put one in a Walmart parking lot where you had to know me and know what I liked and things like that. And it was kind of an old Western thing. You had to go to the store, which was over at this lamp post. And when you got there, it would activate the next segment, and it would say, well, you have to order a Moxie, a Coke, a Pepsi,
And
a
some Scrapple.
or that, and then go and you would follow the coordinates someplace else, and then like that. So as you got through this game, then it would take you to the last coordinates where there would be something to look at. Like I put out 5 gallon buckets at the end of it because I had put out so many film canisters that it was ridiculous. But there's just so many. The probably the most intriguing one I had ever found was up inside the root ball of a tree, and it had been this stump had been placed in amongst this area where all of these roots had been uncovered through erosion, and so it blended right in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking, of course, the coordinates, especially with phones, won't get you too close. About 30 feet is pretty good. And I had been looking around, even with a regular GPS, I'd been looking around. Finally, I sat down on the stump, and it was like, oh, the stump moved. I went, holy cow, I've been out here for 30 minutes. And of course, I tipped over the stump. There's an ammo can full of stuff. I I always dumped a ton of stuff in these geocaches because I wanted to have them keep going and have something there for other people to find.
Right. I think the ammo cans were my favorite because you knew there was always going to be so many neat things to find inside of an ammo
Unfortunately,
can.
there aren't too many of them around now because too many people want numbers. It's all about the numbers.
Oh
However,
no.
when you start with your geocaching adventures again, you'll learn that there's something called favorite points. And if you look for the geocaches with the most favorite points, those are going to be your best geocaches.
All right. I'll have to see if I can start my account back up again and keep my finds that I already have.
You should be
I will
able
admit
to.
I never got a first to find. That was always one of my goals. I was always
Oh, you
watching
did?
to see what
Oh,
was going to drop because that's the coveted, that's the golden chalice right there. When you could be the first person to find a new geocache that someone puts out, you get to put the FTF on that piece of paper on that logbook that says first to find. And that's always a great thing. Good night, Tim. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you had a good time.
I
So,
did a
yeah, I'm
bunch of
really excited.
those, and I kind of let them go now for other people to find.
Yeah. Well, if you found first to finds, then yeah, you've done it. You've had the excitement of it, and it is available now for other people. We'd always just miss them. It was dangerous sometimes the ones we did in California because they're we'd be up in
Oh, yeah.
rocks up in the mountains and there's rattlesnakes and we always had to keep
Well,
that granddaughter from running too far ahead of us because
that's
we didn't know
that's
what
what
kind of
I
trouble she was going to
always.
get into digging around in
Yeah,
those rocks looking for a geocache.
that's what I
But that is
always.
that is great fun. I've got some grandkids that live here now in Iowa, and they're getting to the age where I think maybe I could start involving them, and we'll
Oh,
reinvent
yeah,
that. And I
yeah.
think it's been long enough that now I don't have to have my little GPS actual machine. I can actually use my phone now, where before we had to have a, what was it called before? It started with a G.
Well, it's a GPS receiver,
No,
but
the brand,
oh,
the model,
Garmin. There's a
a
lot of
Garmin,
different ones. Yeah,
Garmin.
Garmin
That's what it was.
put out a lot of
Yeah,
good ones, but
I,
there
I
are a lot
worked.
of different good ones.
I worked for a school and they had some Garmins. I don't know why they had them, but I used one to do all the geocaching. And I actually showed that to the PE director so she could get the kids who are on our homeschool program out geocaching and they could use it for their PE requirements.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when I gave up that job, I had to give it back. And so I didn't have the
Yeah.
technology on my phone at the time to start using my phone, but I'm going to look into that again. So, well, friend, it has been an hour and a half and everybody's got other commitments or they're getting tired and going to bed. But I'm glad we were able
They're
to
getting
discuss
tired?
geocaching.
No, no, they're not
No,
getting tired.
they're not. I think they're embarrassed because we're so exhausted. Um, but I'm glad that this kind of struck a chord that I'm able to pick back up on the geocaching and start adding that to my upcoming trips because that's going to be fun. Can you imagine how many geocaches there are in Branson, Missouri?
Oh, you can't imagine it from what you've been telling me, you haven't done it for a while. It
Yeah,
has exploded. I would say that you're no more than 200 feet from a geocache every mile you go down the road. I mean, no matter
I
where
don't
you
know if
are,
you know how rural I am.
doesn't make any difference. I'm up here in Maine, and let me tell you, there's more friggin' uh, there's more eagles than there are people up here. There, but the place is mobbed with
That's
geocaches.
my
They're
dog.
everywhere.
Well,
But
I will hit myself upside the head with a hammer if I go out there and find a geocache on my mailbox.
yeah, yeah, could be. They usually don't do that. We're still pretty good on making sure we get permission for most of them. But let me know anytime you're gonna go out someplace and whatnot, because I can look up the geocaches anywhere, and I can pick out some really cool ones that will. Oh, I gotta push a button.
Well, when we
Okay.
decide where we're going to go on our trip, when we spin for it and find out where we're going, we'll see if you send us some good ones to find along the way.
No sense in waiting until then. You can go out and give it a couple of tries. I'm sure there's some cool geocaches right around you there someplace.
Oh yeah. I'm inspired to try it again, even though we've got 9 inches of snow right now. But we won't be planning our trip for several months, so we'll
Oh
have some
yeah.
good weather before then. I
Oh
know there's
yeah.
some here because I tried it when we first moved here, but I had to try it on my phone, and it was a terrible phone, and I couldn't get it to work. It was on the fairgrounds, and security was watching me. And I thought, I just better leave because they're not going to be as understanding as, I'm new in town from out of town and I'm lurking around at the fairgrounds. I just went home. So, and then
They
I got sick and I've just kind of done other things since then, but I'll do the geocaches again. I think
they
that would be a lot of fun to pick
probably
up
were
again.
used to that. A lot of people aren't very stealthy, so they were probably used to it by then.
You know what? I bet you there's one up at the not Betty, the Buddy Holly Memorial. I bet you there's one there. I'm going to have to look into that because I
If
want to
there
get
isn't, you could always place one.
I could always place one. There is. All right, guys. Well, I see everybody's getting ready to go to bed. They're clocking out. Good night, Redbird Farm. Good night, Tiny Tim. And Redbird says, I want to see if there's any around me. So, Mike, like I said, when this is all done, if you could drop some links to show people how it works, drop a link to the actual website where they can go in and make an account, start looking up some coordinates and see if they can start doing this themselves. It's a lot of fun.
I
So,
can do that.
I would appreciate it. And thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Have a great night. We will see you next week. Coffee chat, 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Don't know if I'll have internet. It might be just as entertaining with you guys watching me in some frozen stance. I don't know. But then we'll have another quickie next week. And then Papa Jim's going to stuff that cupcake on Saturday. And Saturday, there's going to be a surprise live because we're going out on a date night and it's a surprise location. So we'll be going live from our surprise location. So good night to everybody in the chat. And Mike, again, thank you so much. I'm so glad that despite all of the hiccups, we were able to make this work tonight.
Well,
So
thank
take
you,
care of
and I'm
yourself.
sure it would have been just fine.
It turned out more than just fine, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It did. All right, friend. Well, take care of yourself and we will talk to you soon. And everybody make sure you go on over and subscribe to Mike's channel and give him some thumbs up and comment on a couple of his videos. He's got some geocaching ones. All right, guys. Good night, everybody.
I'll do all the waving for the both of us.
I appreciate it. And we're off.